So this one should be pretty short, straightforward. I'm getting it pretty close to where I like this. But this Greene County text is about to drive me to drinking. Because it's so small, it will not satin stitch good. This is what it looks like from the satin stitch. It's too small for satin stitch. It's not coming out good. This was my second attempt at doing a bean stitch. And I actually drew it out myself, traced over the top. It's better, but it's not good. But it gave me the inspiration to say, why don't I just do a text, a standard text, no fill, outline, straight stitch, bean stitch. Makes sense. So that's what I come up with. That looks pretty good. It's going to be on a light blue shirt. Wolfhaven will be in black. Greene County will be in a gray, medium gray. So it's going to be subdued anyway. So to get that bean stitch was really easy. I've got my 4x4 inch pocket size, approximately 101 millimeters by 101 millimeters. And, you know, good size for a pocket print. And when you do a Inkscape lettering satin stitch, most of the time they say you shouldn't scale them down more than 80%. So if I'm going to do something like low-tech Linux, like this Romanagusa. The Romanagusa here can be scaled down to 70%. So they don't want you to go less than 70%. So I'm going to go 70%. Hit apply. At 70%, you can see how much bigger it is than my pocket. It's a lot bigger than what my pocket size is. So what if I do a standard text and we'll make it a text. Let's scroll all the way down. I like this one. And, you know, you can size it up at will. And then go into path, object to path. Make sure you do that a little bit. Because now you have a bunch of paths. And then I'm going to go into the fill. I'm going to turn off fill. I'm going to turn on stroke. I'm going to set my stroke to a dotted line. And then we're going to go to Inkstitch extensions, params. There's your outline stitch. I'm going to do a bean stitch repeat one time. Sweet. Now, I'm going to set that bean stitch repeat back to 0. Because I want to show you. On a straight stitch, right now we have 528 stitches. If I set that to 2, I have 934. That's just standard repeat. Set that back to 1, back to 528. If I do a bean stitch of 1, 1340. One bean stitch repeat is fairly equivalent to 3 repeats. So that's 1340. Let's set that back to 0. We'll set the number of repeats back to 3, 1340. So you can repeat it 3 times if you want to. Or you can bean stitch. And bean stitch is kind of more designed to do a darker ain't the word, a more a slightly more bold straight stitch. It's kind of what it's designed for. Something else I like to do when I'm doing a bean stitch, I like to turn this running stitch length down from 1.5 to 1.0 or 1. So there's few dots, you know, the needle connection needles are closer together. Makes it a little bit neater. When you go into Inkstitch, visualize, simulate. Speed this up real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Go ahead and get rid of that jump stitch so we can see what it looks like without that. Interesting jump stitch right there. See what the realistic looks like. It's great for small letters. Let's say I'm going to do another one down here. And I'm going to set that to be the same. And I want it to be really small, kind of like what it is. So make sure you do path, object to path. And then you can do no fill, stroke, and make it a dotted line so it's a straight stitch. Go into extensions, Inkstitch params. Give it a bean stitch, repeat of 1. Running stitch length down to 1. Hit apply. I'll go ahead and also do that trim. Commands, attach command, trim, apply. Hit close. And we'll see what this looks like. That's a very small font. You will pull your hair out trying to get that to satin stitch. And even just a general fill stitch that small can be a pain. So give that bean stitch a try on your really small fonts. See what you think. It's a neat little trick. Thanks for watching.